Mademoiselle and ça c'est deuxième channel. And aujourd'hui, we're going to be talking about the Brazilian mermaid and mother of the sea and or rivers, Iara, which is closely related to the devil of the sea and or waters, IPUPIARA. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I apologize. I started this video over a million times and I probably still didn't get it right, but the show must go on. Now understand, in Brazilian culture, this is a very, very controversial legend, myth, true story. It's a lot, okay? So if you're Brazilian, hey, how you doing? I love my Brazilians. Shout outs to y'all. If you guys are not aware, Brazil and Haiti actually have an agreement to give Haitians citizenship upon arrival as refugees, mainly after Haiti's earthquake. So a lot of them have been very, very good to my people. So shout out to y'all. I love you guys. So comment down your Brazilian flags if you are Brazilian, and just shout out to my other South Americans and Latin Americans. You already know we loves y'all's, okay? You know, how y'all doing? How you doing? And of course, comment down below if you have anything to add to the conversation, because I know the whole Iara conversation is a lot, okay? It's definitely mind-boggling, okay? So of course, when it comes to the Iara legend, it's definitely very, very textbook when it comes to the other mermaids. Beautiful woman, lures men to their death, sings beautiful songs, hot and cold tempered, lives in the Amazonian rivers, and it's not really different from anything else that we've heard. Now, the tale of Iara is definitely a combination of the European mermaid and the African Yemanja, with a little bit of the IPUPIARA. Now, if you guys never heard of that, basically it is a flesh-eating monster that used to kill and attack the colonial people back in the day, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later. Now, the Iara kind of changed over the centuries, which most mermaids did. Now, in the 16th to 17th century, mainly the Iara depicted to just come after fishermen that were just fishing in the sea predominantly, and was more so a reincarnation of Mamiwata and Yemaye. But then by the 19th century, Iara was more of a snake legend combined with the European legend of mermaids. So of course the imagery, the legends, the stories started to evolve, and this kind of goes back into what I said in one of my other mermaid videos. Like, sometimes I think that the mermaids are just mermaids, like, and in different regions they just kind of like, you know, like they like cousins. You know how like we have Asians and Africans and Americans, and like they probably just all the same thing. Like I don't know, it's just interesting. And of course 16th, 19th, 21st century, like clearly they're gonna evolve. So I don't think this is too far-fetched. So of course over time the stories change, the legends change, the characteristics change, and of course the people have always been terrified of the whole Iara thing. Now, one characteristic about the Iara that's a little bit different from certain stories but does remain the same in certain stories as well, that Iara likes to hypnotize men and make them come to her, or basically they devote their lives to her willingly. She doesn't necessarily have to kidnap people, okay? There is no snatch from the water, you know, type of thing, but it depends on who you ask. So basically when you see the Iara, you will just not know what's going on. Like, you are hypnotized, you don't know what's going on around you, you can't see, you can't hear, you just Iara. You go into the water with her and you devote your life to her and you never come back. More than likely you will not necessarily die, but then again it depends on who you ask. I'll get into that a little bit later, but for the most part most people just stay under the water with her and that's about it. You just never see them again. However, on the flip side, they have attributed Iara to many shipwrecks, deaths, and kidnapping, and a lot of the people that they claim that have been victims of Iara have washed up on shore dead with missing limbs and all types of things. And I mean, who knows, that could just be shark killings, that could be other animal killings, who knows. But they have said that, you know, she does kidnap people, she does hurt people, she does horrible things to people and all of that. Now, one thing I didn't see people talking about, like, you know how like on the Haitian end or on the African end you always hear, oh, you know, if you don't do this, they they will kill you. You have to eat the fish. You have to eat it. I never heard that about the Iara. But of course, Brazilians, comment down below. Let me know, because that's something I would love to know. Like, do you have to do something like knock twice or go down there and do something and she returns you? I don't know. I didn't hear anything about that, but for the most part, there's been a lot of people that said, you know, she will sink ships and things like that. But for the most part, she usually does go after men, not necessarily women and children, but she has gone after women and children before, but men are usually her main thing. She does have beautiful, long, shiny hair. She has like, usually you do see her with like this green mask situation on her face, which is very different. I was like, that's different, very Ninja Turtle-like, but hey, let me stop. Don't come after me. Hey, like, listen, she got her own little persona going on. For the most part, anyone who's seen her has said that she's been pretty nice and pretty nice tempered, but of course, that depends on who you talk to, like I said, because for the most part, any Brazilian that you come across who knows their history and who actually cares to tell you about the truth about the Iara, they'll tell you there is no Iara. Iara is a demon. Why the hell would you be talking about the Iara in such a good fashion? The Iara is actually IPUPIARA, which is a sea monster from back in the colonial times that used to kill and attack the colonial people, and was basically killed way back with a thrust to the gut with like a spear or some shit like that. Now you guys are thinking, okay, well, if it was killed, why are we talking about this? Well, of course, those things reproduce, I would assume. They probably have little IPUPIARA babies or whatever, like, but nonetheless, it was killed, but clearly it probably came back. I don't know. But basically, many historians seem to believe that the Iara thing is made up. Okay, there is no Iara. This is some sort of romanticized, modernized, colonized version of a sea monster. Like, there is no beautiful woman that sits by the water and takes men and loves on them down by the sea on some cater to you. I wanna like a now Kotojuen Kiba bitch wear. Okay, they're just like wait, like, no, this is not what it is. That's a demon. And if some way somehow there is an Iara, it might be a shapeshifter. Okay, they're basically thinking like it may be the same thing. Like Iara is like the nice version, and IPUPIARA, I can't say it. The Ipu, that's what we're gonna say. The Ipu is probably the bad version and the Iara is the good version. Maybe they take the men in the Iara version and then they turn into the Ipu down in the water. Now let's get into Ipu. Now Ipu was a he, not a she. And Ipu wouldn't necessarily kill and eat the victims. Ipu would constrict its victims. Now you guys are like, wait, constrict? Constrict is a snake, right? Yes, a snake. Just like what I said was depicted back in the day as Iara. Iara was mainly a snake at one point in depiction. So basically, the Ipu would basically go and constrict the victims and eat the victims' eyes and genitals and fingers, but not any other part of the victims' bodies, and leave everything else intact, if you call that intact. But anyways, so it was very interesting because when you really think about it, that's some scary shit. In some way, somehow, the colonial people were able to get this monster, kill it, and then hang it out to dry away from the water, because clearly they didn't want it to somehow nurse itself back to health in the water. So some way, somehow, they think that another version of this still exists somewhere out there, and that is what people are calling the Iara. They think some way it's able to like morph into this woman that's able to turn into this beautiful creature that people are attracted to, and then lure people down to its death. But I'm like, but they're seeing a woman though, so I'm like, I don't know if shapeshifting has to do with genders and sex and stuff. How much I believe that. I think it might just be two different creatures, but then that's some interesting things, okay? Because I mean, they depicted the Ipu to be something completely different. Like the Ipu was literally like a long 15-foot 14-foot tall like creature with whiskers on its face, like scary, like almost dragon snake-like looking water creature. Meanwhile, the Iara is like some beautiful woman looking mermaid thing with a mask and some beautiful hair. I don't know, y'all. like that. What do you guys think? It's very hard to believe that that could be the same creature. Or, I mean, let's be real, maybe the historians are right. They could just be making that up for their own fantasies and their own satisfaction to basically hide the fact that there might be some monster living in their Amazon river. So I have to read this from my notes. According to the most renowned folklorist in Brazil, Camara Cascudo, he said, no chronicler of colonial Brazil registers the mother of the water as a mermaid, attracting by the corner or simply transformed into a woman. He is always IPUPIARA, ferocious, hungry, and brute. All I know is if I ever go to Brazil, I'ma stay my ass out of the Amazon River because I don't got time. Like, that shit is crazy. And now it makes me want to look into the other mermaids like Costa Rica and Chile and Argentina and stuff, because it's like, I was in Costa Rica and all the water. I was in Mexico. Does Mexico have mermaids? Because it's funny, because when I was in Mexico and I was in the cenotes and shit, everybody was like, shit, you better watch out, mermaids gonna get you. I said, don't say that, because I don't want to know now. Now I want to know, but now I don't want to know because I love the cenotes. Cenotes had me feeling brand new, okay? And your child, like, what the hell? I want to know, but I don't want to know because I do genuinely want to enjoy the water in other people's countries, but I can't swim. So I'm like, oh God. Woo! Of course, let me know what you guys think about this video. What do you guys know about the Iara or the Ipu? Because clearly I can't say the rest of the word properly. And yeah, what are the other cultures and legends that you guys know about mermaids or water people? Because I'd love to hear them. I will definitely be doing more videos on different mermaids from around the world. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Smash that notification bell. Smash that subscribe button. Make sure you guys join the Patreon. Smash that join button if it's there yet, because I'm supposed to be setting up and I keep saying I'm going to set it up, but by the time you guys watch this, it might be there. Anyways, I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.